Hello, and welcome to this screencast from Easy Peasy Photoshop Tutorials. On this screencast, we want to give a basic overview of Photoshop filters. So let's get right to it. Well, we have an image of our intrepid pumpkin up here now. And what we're going to do is go up to the top menu bar and you'll see the filter there. And if we go down, and there's all sorts of different types of filters that we can play with. Well, before we do that, let's go over to our layers palette and let's take the background and let's copy it, and let's go ahead and play around with a few filters. Now let's see here, we shall go to let's start with a blur, Gaussian blur. It's one of the basic filters that we have, and here we can see very little to quite a bit. So let's just push OK. Now you can imagine is that you can cut out this pumpkin here and lay it on top of this fuzzed out blurred one, and so you can have a nice sharp pumpkin on a very blurry background. That's one thing that you could do. Okay, well, let's go on. Now let's try this, and let's try the opposite here. Let's go to a sharpen, and this one gives you again some ability to make some adjustments here. The amount of 100%, radius is on pixels, threshold allows you to apply the given settings up here with a little bit less of intensity type of setting. So let's just say we want to go give it something that is going to give us something. There we go. So if you take the threshold, and you could see it adds the intensity. So we'll keep that. So now we have something super sharp, or we have something very blurry like we had here. Well, let's keep on going. And the next thing I'll show you is that if we just pick like the artistic one and pick colored pencil, you get this preview box that comes up, and what we can see here, we'll bring this down a little bit so we can see what's going on. Now from here you can pick out different ones, and you can see what the effects are going to be on these different ones. And sometimes the filters don't do that much, and sometimes they do more than others. Sometimes the effect is so subtle you have to really zoom in and see what's going on. So let's just keep on going till we find something that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that I would like to keep. And here you have some more. We'll just keep on going until we see something that maybe suits us in how we would like to do something. Stylize, and that's about it. So let's keep on playing around with some things. Here's a texture one that okay, let's try this texturizer. Let's see. Now we can go back up to here and we could do different things. We're on canvas right now. We can try bricks, and here we have some different settings to where we can make it bigger. Let's go all the way up here, and let's make this a little more exaggerated, like the bricks really coming out a little bit more. And if we zoom in to 100%, then we can see what it's really doing to us there. And we'll zoom back out, and now what would happen if you applied, say OK with this. Now you got that. Well, why don't we try one more. We'll try this again, And what will happen is that it'll have the effect on an effect. So you can keep on going until you see something that you like. And you know, if you like the effect that starts coming up, then you can keep it. But this is how fast it can go. You can just keep on piling through here. Hey, look at that. I kind of like that. That kind of has some good texture to it, and it got some really good shadowing going on here. I think I'm going to keep that. So here's another filter, along with our sharp, with our Gaussian and blur. So if we look at some more filters here, we'll do one more copy. And there's all sorts of things that you can do. Here's another one called Liquify. And boom, that brought something that was all the way out and trying to bring it back in. And you know, ooh, look at that. Give them some horns. Say okay. So there's all sorts of things you can do. Bring up an image, play with it for a little while, do all sorts of different things, create separate layers, and then label the layers, and keep that file on hand so that you can go back and see how these types of different layers affected what you were trying to do. Keep on playing with that, use them for your next project, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.